Hello, people. Hello. The Sunday show, the Forever Reds, is always about a proper review of the game, and you might get a review, but we're just gonna take it at the end, near the end of the show. Or shall we tease people? Shall we tease people and discuss the game? But you know what? We give the people what they want. Here we are, Forever Reds, Forever Reds, and it's very nice, very nice. I just actually forgot how Ben actually looked like. I thought he's out injured. After his scheduled comeback, but I'm so glad that little knee operation that he had 80 years ago, he dug it up. So I got shot. I thought, for fuck's sake, he's out for the show. But I scrolled up and he was talking about 8 years ago. But here we are. Big up to everyone in the chat already. There's already 235 of you in the chat. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and hype and share the video as well. Uzair puts the comment up. Angie, yeah, thanks for removing that. Fab 4, best channel in the world, back 100%.
Don't over exaggerate. We're good, but we're not the world's best, please. Yeah, have some humility.
All right, the best trio in the world. We'll keep it as that. Anyway, here we are. I think it's nice to welcome back Ben, and it's only right for me to go to him. Ben, what's going on, man? Nice to see you back. A lot has happened, and a lot's happening.
It's a funny old world, isn't it, Asim? A week feels like a month, and transfer deadline day is approaching, and that feels like a long time. But yeah, news of my demise and vicious rumours of my P45 from B&R are greatly exaggerated, much to the sadness of some of the people on here. But hopefully, fingers crossed, yes. Just a lot going on at the moment. A lot going on with work and family and stuff. So just had to prioritize a little bit. But it's wonderful to be back. It's great to see you guys and great to see everybody. And we have got a lot to talk about, haven't we? Yes. It feels like a long time since I've been on. It's only been a week or so, but a lot has happened. We've been beaten. We've won twice, which we don't say very often. And we're now in the midst of a ridiculously intense last 24 hours of the January transfer window, when we all thought we were doing absolutely nothing. It looks like we could be doing some significant business, and we shall see. But
Gene, this could be the longest show of B&R history, because you need to look at the camera, but you also need to look at the phone as well. Things could break within seconds. So we could be here at 11:30. We could also be here at 2 a.m. in the morning. You never know.
Well, we were told by somebody we might have to be coming on later on today. So let's wait and see what happens. And no comment. I'm not gonna mention. I can't mention the person's name. We might be on later on. You never know. But look, it's transfer deadline. Last 24 hours. Liverpool are in. It feels like they're in the market for somebody. I'm not gonna lie, Asim. I'm actually gutted that we lost out on. Geertruida. Well, I hope I said his name correctly. But
we're all going to say it differently, you know that, don't you, Gene?
Geertruida.
Apart from Abby, obviously.
Yeah, Geertruida, whatever he's called. So I'm gutted that we missed out on him, man, because we needed a centre back. But let's see what the next 24 to 20 hours bring, man.
Abby, Alex says,
Asim.
Look, I don't want any clown business today. Sunday is a serious show.
Asim, there's an addition to the show today. I've got a special guest that's appearing today. He should be on the stream, or she should be on the stream. She's not yet, but look who's appeared. The final hours. On the final hours,
it's got more orange. It's got more orange.
It's back.
Have you got covered on it?
You know what?
It's back, boys. It's back.
That looks so shiny. I think the orange device, there's been a faulty replacement.
Asim, we are on standby. We are on standby as we speak. We are on standby. Hanji.
Standby. Can we have a look? Can you turn it on? Can you turn it on?
battery. Let me get the battery on.
What is that? This is what I mean. You're a clown. Like, it's transfer deadline day. Within 24 hours, I think it is, that the window is going to show, and the orange device is shut. It hasn't got any battery.
Asim, it's brought us good luck. Every transfer window is brought us good luck. We always buy someone when this comes out. And I've
Just turn it
waited,
on.
I've waited till the 1st of February to bring this back. So let's see. Let's see what happens.
Let's stick with Geertruida. Obviously, the day started with some really encouraging news. I think it was a no-brainer for Liverpool. But Avi, what did you make of the whole deal? We more or less looked like favourites to get the deal done. There was no really objections from Sunderland. Maybe, I don't know, you might have a different take on it. But your thoughts about the player and the whole deal?
I thought it would have been a smart signing on loan. I think was the initial talk, wasn't it? Obviously, the player's been with Arne Slot, not just been with the player, he was the captain of Feyenoord. I did say he was a system player. I tweeted the quick factuals of what I knew of him. He's a system player. He's a leader, right back, left back, centre back, even as a DM, comfortable with the ball, progressive with the ball. There are similar characteristics to Gheorghe, although I don't believe he's on Gheorghe's level. But he's 25, and they would have been, obviously we know with defenders they mature later on, don't they, between 27 to 32. I think it would have been an astute, smart signing on the final few hours of the deadline window, but it wasn't to happen. Sunderland obviously haven't got a replacement in place. They think it's going to be too late. I don't think there would have been any qualms between Leipzig and Liverpool. We know that there's a good relationship there. But it wasn't to happen. And, as excited as we were in the early hours of the morning, that report was rebuffed by, the local journalist Joyce saying it's a little bit too hard to do that deal. But I thought it would have been a smart signing. We do need cover, Asim. Konate's back. Gomez is only a week or so out. Frimpong's not bad as first thought. But even with all of them fit, we were always short because of the lack of because we couldn't get Gheorghe over the line in the summer. So yeah, I thought it would have been a smart link, but I'm hoping that there's more positive news to come out by tomorrow.
Gene?
Look, Asim, I mentioned it. I was when obviously you texted me late last night, half one in the morning. Told me that this is the sort of name that we're linked to, and that news will break, and that let's see if we manage to get it over the line. Saw the links obviously filter through in the morning. You think, you know what, game on. And I'm not gonna lie, I was quietly buzzing about it, but I didn't tweet about him or anything. I just thought, you know what, I can't take any fucking chances. Knowing this football club, shit happens. So I stayed away from tweeting about anything, and bloody hell, here we go, man. I was happy thinking, like Avi mentioned, versatility was key. It was key. Yeah, Joe Gomez sort of replacement, can play in the back, can play in the right back position, play centre back position. What I liked about him. I think he's a bit physical, and I think we always need physical players at this football club. And I was buzzing with it, but I kept my cards close to my chest, and look what happened. Bloody hell, deal seems like it's not happening. And then it got when news filtered through that he's not going to be signing, he's staying at Sunderland. So it was a bit of a dampener, if I'm honest, because yes, I know we're linked to other players, but are we going to bring them other players in January? Probably not. And that's what's peeing me off, because thinking, you know what, if only we had a little bit, if we bought him in, signed, if there is obviously what's his name, Jacquet for the summer, then okay, it's a start. We're getting there. One would have, we don't realize what one signing can actually do to a football club, even in January. It can be massive. It can be a game changing, season defining at times. We've seen that in previous years. People can make a big difference, and I think he would have made a difference to us because of them. Just simply because we don't have the numbers right now. But it seems like that's obviously not going to happen. And yeah, man, bit of a dampener on that front. Let's just say.
Ben, it looks like news is breaking on Jacquet, but let's stick with that. I want your thoughts on Geertruida, then we'll quickly go on Jacquet.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about Jacquet, obviously. Alex Crooks jumped in on it as well as Ben Jacobs. They sort of work in tandem, really, don't they? But yeah, going back to Geertruida, I'm very much with Gene. Really disappointed, if I'm being honest, because he's 25 years of age. He's now had a real good spell with Sunderland, so he's had a little bit of time to adapt to the Premier League. Obviously, can play right back, centre half, and the defensive midfielder. and he's, there's no strings. He's a loan only, but you could clearly see a pathway where he could slot in, do a good job for the next couple of months, and then in my head, I'd already sort of thought, well, where could that go lead us? And to me, would be the ideal upgrade on Endo. Someone who could do the job that Endo's effectively going to do now between now and the end of the season, but maybe to a higher level. And obviously, he's a few years younger, and he's a little bit, more of the profile of what the Premier League needs at the moment in terms of athleticism, physique profile, etc., etc. So yeah, it's a real blow. But the reality is, if we want good players, then they're not going to come easy. And Sunderland obviously have got themselves a really good player on their hands there, and they're not prepared to break that loan deal unless they can get a suitable replacement. And they haven't been able to find someone of Geertruida's level. They're still, obviously they think they're pretty much nailed on to stay up now. But the reality is they've still got potential of getting an outside chance of Europe. So if they need all of their options as well. So, they're not obliged to do us any favours, even though the player would clearly love to come to Liverpool, and an upgrade, and playing in the Champions League would be something that he would absolutely love. And I wonder whether it's still something that we could entertain in the summer as a squad option, because we are going to need options. We are going to need cover. Bradley's got a really bad injury. Frimpong's clearly got issues now with his hamstring, even though he has a pretty clean injury record. There is clearly a gap there at right back, but not necessarily a long-term gap. There's clearly a gap at centre-back. Leone's, as we've discussed, is not going to be back for a while. We don't know what the situation with Konate is. And even if we get Jacquet, he's still a young lad. So I think it's still a deal to maybe revisit in the summer. And that might be something that they look at. Obviously, we had an option to buy him last summer, but we went down a different track, maybe because they weren't sure whether or not he could adapt to the Premier League. And if he's given that opportunity to prove himself at Sunderland, then it's something that we could revisit in the summer. So, yeah, and especially at 23 million euro, it might be a really cheap squad buy that Arsenal have proven this summer that it's not all about buying elite players. It's about building your squad as well. And I think he would be an ideal upgrade on Endo in the summer. So let's hope that we do consider and revisit if it doesn't come to fruition in January.
I agree with everything there, but I think he would have come as a replacement for Gomez if this was going to be Gomez's final swan song season. I know he's still got a year to run. But I think Geertruida would have been someone who can fill that role, but play obviously more games because he stays fit. And look, I think he's played. He's had 17 games for Sunderland. I think he's not been this first team in the last 2 weeks, but prior to that, there's only been good words from the Sunderland forums and whatnot. I managed to type his name in and Twitter and see what Sunderland fans are sort of talking about him, and it's all been positive, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. And my one negative thought on it. Well, not a negative on him, but on the situation. I actually thought that there was a slight possibility that it would reinvigorate the Robertson to Spurs deal, because he can play left back as well as an option. And I thought, oh my word, are they thinking, well, if they get him in, then he can play left back, right back, centre half, and defensive midfield. And then all of a sudden, the blocker with Costas is not there no more, and he can do a job and cover Kerkez for the rest of the season. We'd let Robbo go. After all, they're the sort of things that you just don't know whether or not they're thinking about the bigger picture. But it looks like it's clear that Sunderland can't get a replacement, and I think that one will probably be parked until the summer.
Asim, you're
mute.
Avi, is there well, how do I term it? Do you think Liverpool wanted Geertruida, then got real encouragement on the Jacquet deal?
I think there was a possibility of maybe we were trying for both.
Okay.
I think both. And look, Jacquet, I've waxed lyrical of him on this channel when we were talking about Jacquet or Ordinary and Leone and whatnot, and all young sort of defenders. This boy's ready, Asim. It wouldn't be like an Ordinary. This boy is ready. He didn't have a great game yesterday against Monaco. But he is ready. He's actually filled out. He's a brilliant ball playing defender, strong, quick. He's extremely quick, and he could come in. I'm not saying you thrust him in the big top 4 games against City, but the games at home, maybe like the Sunderland's at home, the Everton's at home, the Newcastle at home, you can put him there because he is a very good defender. He's on the verge of that. He's on the cusp of being a regular in the next sort of 18 months for that French team. And I think Geertruida, I think the opportunity was there where he's flexible, he's versatile, the versatility works in his favor. And look, talking about Gomez on his last sort of season, and obviously his legs are wearing now. Robbo, who's been sort of not flirting, but there was talk of Spurs, and maybe he was enticed by that Spurs project. Then Geertruida would have been a must alongside a Jacquet as well. So I think there was a possibility. I think there's a real possibility that we were looking at two players, Asim.
Okay. There's 700 people in this building. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe to the channel. Gene, cheer up, man. What's wrong with you?
What do you want me to say?
You're miles away. You're miles away, Gene. We could be here. Maybe it's sad because you're thinking it's a long night. Because I think we will get regular updates.
Look, I'll be honest. I'm just keeping my feet on the ground. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
He's a negative Nancy. He's a negative Nancy.
I've been here.
You want a serious show, Asim, you'll get it, but he's a negative Nancy.
I've been here plenty of times, Asim.
Okay, Avi, make us feel
Ramenal.
Avi, go on.
Look, obviously, there's real interest in Jeremy Jacquet, Asim, and look, I want him. I'm sold on him, like Gene was sold on Leonie, like he was sold on Leonie. I'm sold on Jacquet. I've been sold on him since the start of last season, and if it happens, great. Will it happen? The next few hours will be telling.
Abby, is he a replacement for Konate? Being straight up, because I think he is personally.
Do you want my honest opinion? He's the natural heir to Virgil van Dijk. That's how good he is. That's how good I know he can become. He's the natural heir to Van Dijk. And maybe look, if it might be that Ekitike is being influential not only on the pitch but off the pitch. They are similar. I mean, Ekitike is only 22. I'm sure they've been in French squads, under 21 squads. I'm sure it would help if Ibu signs a contract sometime this week to maybe accelerate this Jacquet move, and he would feel at home, wouldn't he? He would have a Frenchman alongside him at centre back, and then he would have a Frenchman in Ekitike. So, it would bode very well. Let's say that.
What if he's on the phone to Konate as well and asking him?
Konate saying, "Listen, I'm not sure if I'm here." Yeah, exactly.
I'm going. Will you come here?
That's the other caveat, isn't it? But look,
the reason I say it is because I know this might sound mad, and I am the biggest glass half full person in this team. And I want to be positive. I massively want to be positive. But if we start the season next year with our first two choice centre backs as Jacquet and Virgil, are we better? Are we stronger or are we weaker than we started this season?
I think we're weaker.
I do.
But he's got a huge ceiling. Jeremy Jacquet.
The upside is
whatever he wants. Yeah.
Beautifully said, Asim. I'm sure you've taken that from.
I agree. I agree. But I think in the here and now,
typical textbook saying that is.
Yeah.
What you just said. He can be whatever he wants to be.
You like that?
Ramenal tonight. Ramenal.
And he might take a while to adjust, mightn't he?
Gene, cheer up a little bit. Custom, cheer up. It's a show. Cheer up a little bit, please, for us.
Update.
Dwakaro.
Hold Joyce. Liverpool are continuing to push for Rennes centre-back Jeremy Jacquet. The deal would only begin from this June, and the French club have been seeking around £55 million plus 5 million in add-ons.
60 60, just to confirm, 60, Andre.
Chelsea have also held talks as a tug of war emerges. Roll. Keep on pushing.
Can I just say something? Avi Miki happy. Avi saying, "Oh, Gina, you should be happy." Can I just say he's fucking coming next season? Cha mala can't see this season.
I'm talking.
You understand?
Succession planning.
I want somebody now.
Planning.
You're talking about fucking 6 months.
I don't mind
I
that.
want the player.
I don't mind that.
Don't get me wrong, but you want me to fucking start jumping, doing star jumps. The player not gonna play for 6 months. I want to go. I need somebody to play. Some player to come this season. I need somebody to come tomorrow for this season. I'm worried about this season before fucking thinking about next season. I like we're fucking signing fucking the best centre back in the world. Van Dijk's fucking air and he's coming fucking next season, bro. Chill out.
I do not mind. I need
somebody
have
this
been
season,
vying.
bro. They should have 1 second. Let me speak now. You said I've got a face on. Let me speak now. We needed somebody for this season, regardless if it was Geertruida or whoever it was. We needed something now. We needed something, so a player to come in to help this team over the next 6 months, whether it's going for a top 4 place or trying to fight, go for another player. They've just thrown you a carrot, and now you're jumping for joy like Chacha Sona Marigia. Sort yourselves out, bro.
Asim, I'm all for these. Are what I mean. Look, I can rebuttal now and go ranting as well. The house is free today.
No, but I'm being
I
honest.
can rant as well.
Make your
I'm
mind
not
off,
going
face
to
down,
rant. We're
relax.
going to have a nice, smart, intellectual conversation. Asim,
You're smart.
I've said,
Okay.
I said, Asim, months ago, he will confirm this. I said I wanted Jacquet, and the deal for Jacquet to come in January would be impossible. He wouldn't come in January. It would be a summer deal. I'm all for it. If we are getting one of the best young defenders in the world, I will say the best young defender, ahead of Leone. Yeah, before the injury as well. Streets ahead of Leone. I am all for it in the summer, Asim. Jeremy Jacquet is him. End of. That's the
Avi,
most decibel.
you,
That's the most decibel you'll hear from me today. We're going to
Avi,
keep it a nice Ravenna level.
do you understand Gene's cautious approach though, Ben? Because we've been here before and we've been heartbroken many times, especially when it comes to Chelsea. We were told a good month ago that the player prefers Chelsea. There's an agreement in place, but it's just a matter of either it's January or the summer, Ben. And they're still here. Every single journalist, whenever they're mentioning Liverpool are advancing, Liverpool are bidding, Liverpool are talking, Chelsea are still there. And we've been here before. Just to mention a few names, Caicedo, Lavia.
Yeah, make no mistake about it. Liverpool could comfortably be a stalking horse in this scenario, without a shadow of a doubt. We could be coming in with a late approach, and Chelsea have already done the homework. And you know, it is what it is. But whether or not he signs or not, and as I'm sure he's a really top prospect, and I'm sure he's a really exciting player for the future. But the point still stands, and what Gene's saying still stands, is that it does absolutely nothing for us for this season. And that's the reality of it. But this is how this club operates. And we are a forward thinking, we are a medium to long term club. We aren't really a short term thinking club. And that works in some ways, but it massively doesn't work in other ways, especially when you have a season like we're having now. And that's why if you look over the timeline of the last 10 years, we tend to have one brilliant season, one really good season, then one brilliant season, and then a drop-off, a big drop-off in some cases, a massive drop-off. So we are a medium to long-term planning club, and that means that potentially we could have a team to absolutely destroy everybody in 2 years' time, 3 years' time even, when you've got Wirtz at the height of his powers, and then maybe Jacquet coming to the fold. But the reality is, everybody wants to win now, and they want to win on a consistent basis. But we're just not that sort of club who operate like that. And there's a huge debate to be had whether or not it's the right way or not. But yeah, and the debate on that will go on for a long time. But you know, you got to be happy when we're linked with really top players. But one, nothing's done as yet. And two, it still doesn't resolve our clear gaps this season.
Clear gaps this season. Avi, what's your orange device saying? Is it on? Has it got a battery?
Listen, we've been here before, Asim. We've done 12 a.m., 1 a.m. streams. I just want Jacquet over the line. And I get what Gene's saying, that we still need a player in now. But he's written the season off. So I don't know why he's caring so much and so passionate about this ranting and shouting and Bevakuf Bolian. Listen, you've written the season off anyway, prior to Newcastle game. I'm all about succession planning. I want Jacquet in, and if he comes in the summer, I want him in. And who knows? Maybe we might do something else tomorrow.
I think, and I'm sticking my neck out here, and it's not based on any information. I think if Sunderland tomorrow gets some sort of replacement, that great Geertruida deal could be revived. You know, don't rule that out. Don't rule it out.
I agree. I think that's definitely a possibility. But I also think there's still an 11th hour possibility that they let Robertson go as well.
I think there's an 11th hour possibility that it could be someone totally different to Geertruida as well.
Gene, you rather just like give your thoughts on that one as well.
जीना
Like,
यार
give
थोड़ा
your,
मजाक कर रहे यार मैं क्या हो
give,
रहा है
give your
Yeah,
own.
look, what do you guys want me to say? Like, you want me to be happy? I told you, go. I needed
Gene, a
players in
week
this
ago
summer.
okay
I needed
Gene
players in January. You lot make it look. I mentioned I'm still worried about top 4. I'm worried about one injury. You guys are fucking happy about next season. I need somebody now. United still won. Chelsea still won. Yes, we won. But bro, we need help, man. You lot are sometimes looking too far ahead. We need to think about the now. We need somebody in right now, man. And yes, if you're saying to me Geertruida comes in, yeah, I'm happy with then tomorrow 7:00 when we do a show, if that deal gets done, I'll be a happy man. That you know what, we bought in a player, and if you find Jacquet, you know what, boys, respect to that. I'll be over the moon. I'll be fucking happy, Gene. You got in a player and you bought one in for the summer, a brilliant centre back. Yeah. So how can I not be happy? But as of right now, just chill. All I'm saying is
Gene,
we've been here before, man.
Cast your mind back a week ago. Chelsea were the forefront front runners for Jeremy Jacquet. It looks as though we have.
Tweet
Huh?
Go tweet.
Another what? Another tweet. Go and read it out.
French football.
French football news. Liverpool
GFM
and Rennes are in advanced talks over a club record pre-arrangement to sign Jeremy Jacquet, the France under-20 international centre-back, has reportedly been convinced by the Reds sporting project.
Look, that's got him a smile, isn't it? Look, he's smiling now. Go on,
Why are you smiling? Why are you smiling?
No, because that's it. We've always been behind fucking Chelsea all this way. Like a little bit smile.
No, because all your argument for the last 26 minutes has been, I want players for now.
Fucking saying to me, because okay, I'll tell you why. Because 1 minute ago, you said I think Liverpool are still gonna go in for Geertruida. That made me a little bit okay. Maybe something might happen now. You know, if we are
okay, Gene. If you can only have Geertruida,
ahead of City, Chelsea is better. I don't want to be
Ben
hurt
asking.
by
I'm gonna ask him if you can have Geertruida tomorrow or Jacquet in the summer. Which one would you pick?
You're asking for chalk and cheese.
Yeah, well,
it's like saying, do you want prime Messi in the summer or do you want Elise now? Of course, I would fucking prime Messi, man.
No. Gene, I disagree. I have to go. You said I want help now because I'm worried about Champions League.
Geertruida's not happening though. Geertruida's not happening, is it?
No, you can't do that.
Why am I stupid?
Getting out of that.
Geertruida's not happening.
As a proper ripper.
Yeah, Geertruida is not happening, right? So why am I gonna say, Paul Joyce, man, tell me we're signing somebody tomorrow.
What happened?
Oh no, it's a recap on his what's called on his.
So look, I'm not gonna sit here and look, we want a thing here. Look, I want Abi, shut the fuck up, don't do my head in. Just chill out, man. I'm calm and relaxed. Yeah, you're calm.
It's good to be back, boys. It's good to be back.
How we doing, mate? How's your weekend?
Let
these two carry on.
Yeah, honestly, I've had a lovely time.
Breaking news.
Go on, give us it. This is gonna be a proper Tawla show, isn't it?
There's a plane.
The truth is coming round to Abby's for tea tomorrow.
There's a plane departing. There's a plane departing.
Oh
my
word. Put on the Babblecopter
at 6 a.m. by Rennes Airport to John Lennon. 6 a.m. Private jet. There you go. Private jet.
Does it include hand luggage?
I'm hoping it's obviously Jeremy Jacquet and his agent.
Okay, take it. Looks like the orange device is on. Gene, I want to ask you, if we get Jeremy Jacquet for the summer, how does our defense look, in your opinion?
I said it, Konate stays, and I said it a while ago that I believe Konate will sign a contract.
So you think it's going to be Jeremy
Jacquet, Konate. I think we will sign a fullback as a defender that can play fullback as well. So there's one. We will sign Jeremy if it is. Oh yeah, go on, Avi.
Bayern space. We know how reliable they have been. It's worth noting, just a quick snippet. It is worth noting that Bayern were not informed today which Premier League club the agreement is nor whether the club move is planned for winter or summer. Internally, however, expectations are that Jacquet has given his word to England's biggest and most successful club, Liverpool, and that only Chelsea throwing an open-ended, money-heavy contract into the equation could still disrupt the situation. Liverpool are favourites as of now.
I agree.
Some more
And
on that. More on that.
the Pies, yeah, who's flipping some ITK from the thingy, who's supposed to be pretty reliable. He said, yeah, he's better than Avi, by the way. Jacquet has
He's a
been
Chelsea
seduced
ITK.
by the Liverpool
Why are you
project.
throwing shade at me? Why are you? I'm not saying anything about Jacquet deal. I scouted the player. I scouted the player.
Saying, man, you know.
I scouted the player. Asim fair play in, I think, in December.
I scouted the player.
Of course, profiling. I'm happy that it's 60 million. I'm happy it's 60 million.
Ben, how do you see our defense?
I still want an answer, Gene, before we carry on. Would you take Geertruida tomorrow or Jacquet in the summer?
Ben's come for the smoke.
Look, Ben. Look, you have to be realistic. Do you understand? Look, sometimes, me personally, if you guaranteed me Jacquet, I'd probably go for Jacquet if I'm honest, because he's a better player. But that doesn't mean you don't go and sign another player in January, Ben.
But Gene,
we needed it.
Gene, we all want that.
Okay. If we miss out on Champions League and we sign Jacquet, okay, it's good. But fucking we missed out on the Champions League, man. You got to understand where I'm coming from. My
just for the record, Gene. Just for the record, I'd rather have Geertruida tomorrow than Jacquet in the summer.
Wow, Ben, come on, please.
Say?
I would.
He won't get through.
I'd rather have Geertruida tomorrow than Jacquet in the summer because I want to win the Champions League this year, mate. I'm the same as you.
Ben, I get your thing. Is look, I'm a slightly bit thingy because I think you know what. I do rate Jacquet, the way these guys go on about him. They speak about him so highly. Next month's got him the heir to Virgil van Dijk. He can't be fucking shit, can he? You understand? He must be good.
Who's the lad who went to Man United, who everyone went absolutely nuts over?
I never rated Euro. I never rated
Euro.
Ben,
I can guarantee we could find a show where you did.
Ben, if
I swear to God, I did.
Everyone,
you will see tweets from me. You will see
went
tweets
nuts
from me
about Lenny Yoro.
You will see tweets from me saying I didn't want to go.
Fees at all, has he?
The thing is, you have to understand where he's gone. I will tell you now, Lenny Yoro still got. Now you'll see. You know, if they sort themselves out, Yoro's a brilliant. He's still very young. Will be a brilliant signing for him. He's just gone to a shit show.
I've no doubt that Jacquet will be a great player as well. You know, let's hope he is, and let's hope he comes to Liverpool. But I do think it's very, very important because we could sign Jeremy Jacquet in March. Who cares? It doesn't have to be done right now. You know, we can do a deal for him at any point. Yeah, no, I know, but I mean, it feels a bit strange that we're doing this in the January window for the summer. Can't we sign? We can make a deal for the summer at any point, at any time for the summer. So is part of this, you know, a little bit of a cloud tactic to sort of say, right, we haven't really gone for who we wanted to, or we haven't really got who we're going to get in January, so we'll release this information now. I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate. But it is frustrating that we haven't got who we want to. But he also says, what does it say about Mark Guehi as well? Because they clearly could have had the money to be able to go and get him if they're going to put 55 million on Jacquet. But
it's also worth noting, Ben, and I'll say this again, and Asim asked the question earlier. I think we were trying to do both deals. I think Geertruida and Jacquet. Jacquet in the summer, Geertruida now. So look, we're trying. I get it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I can't believe I find myself being negative, but I'm just trying to be.
I get the frustration. I get the frustration that we need someone now. I still think there's enough time. These are just thinking out loud. Nothing, no like set in stone. I still think there's enough time to maybe get another loan deal in.
I do. Yeah, I agree.
And maybe that Geertruida isn't dead.
I'll answer this question. Where's it gone now? Gene, would you take Ordonez or Jacquet in summer? I have a feeling you want Ordonez. Ordonez for me every day of the week. There's my answer.
You don't bet against the Ren conveyor belt. That's all I say.
Bro, it's not about Ren conveyor belt or anything like that. But Ordonez.
Desire Doué. How many have come through them? Camavinga. Jacquet now.
Doesn't matter.
You don't.
Bobby, you said the club are trying. Is it like the sort of classic case of letting the clock tick and we've literally got 24 to 48 hours. Liverpool are trying, and we couldn't. We ran out of time in the end, but we tried. And all of a sudden, Liverpool are left with shite. And what I mean by shite is nothing.
I get that, and that's the risk that we've run every window when it comes to getting a centre.
Oh, roll up.
Gone.
Rolla.
Deal between Liverpool and 72 million euros. The centre back would be loaned out immediately. Jacquet must give his approval. Liverpool on the verge of winning its battle with Chelsea over Jeremy Jacquet. Fabrice Hawkins.
All right.
Wow!
so
Immediately,
actually
immediately loaned out back. Oh, sorry, I thought immediately loaned out to
Yeah,
Liverpool.
so that's why they're signing him in
Excited there.
January, because he's going to become our player straight away, and then we loan him back out.
Hey, contract, Jay.
Oh,
Hey, Hawkins.
I think it's done. I think it's done.
Has
I
he got
think
an outside chance of making the French squad, Avi? If you do you know of the World Cup?
Saliba,
He
you got
better be.
Upamecano, you got Konate, you got
Yeah,
who's the other fella they've got? They've got another French.
Saliba, Konate,
Um,
no, not
Upamecano.
Upamecano.
He could
Upamecano, yeah.
make a late surge, but he's highly rated.
Here we
Fontaine.
go, Iggy from Fabrizio Romano.
Yes.
Here we go, boys.
Asim, ho gaya.
Where?
Here we go.
Yes.
Fabrizio.
Hey, Asim, is that
Hey,
Angie!
I mean, now I can smile a little bit because you know what? We might win the race. Do you understand? We won. Well, hopefully, it feels like we won the race. Now I can smile. I've been fucking stung that many times on these gits. Yeah, I was fucking awake 1 a.m. in the morning doing
He's
schemes of a
agreed terms. He's
Caicedo.
agreed
Who's
terms.
asked
He's
about
agreed terms.
Geertruida now? Forget that.
My
I just
boy.
got Jeremy. I just got Jacquet.
Jacquet. Do you know my guy?
Have we had a
My guy.
Have we had a breaking bomber with all four of us on at all? Yeah, I don't
you
think
know-
we have actually had a breaking bomber.
Ordinary, fully down. Fully down.
JACQUET, yeah? Connie? No, don't tell me them, boys.
Everyone's just gone quiet now because they're tweeting everything.
Love for the love. My guy, Jeremy Jacquet. Established in February 2024. Thank you. 2025, sorry. Anji. Kabul karo. Kabul karo.
I'll give you flowers. You know what? You are what do you call it?
Mania.
What do you call
Mania.
him? What do you call him? You know?
Mania.
You're a scout. You're a scout. I'll
Mania.
call you Avi the
Mania.
scout now. Avi the scout. Avi, I'll give you credit for Jeremy Jacquet.
What's called? What does that look like now in the summer? Do we think that means that Konate is going? Because I don't think he's coming just for money. He's coming to play games.
Can I drop a bomber? Can I drop a bomber?
Go for it.
Can I drop a bomber? Asim Chin, can I drop a bomber?
Do what you want today. Go on. You go on license.
We won. We're pursuing Ayub Buadi. I'm telling you now. I am telling you now. I am telling you now. Buadi, I'm telling you now. I am telling you now. Buadi.
You know, Avi, I will be happy if I'm not gonna lie. I will be happy if we sign Buadi. I will be happy if we
Jeremy
sign
the GOAT, Jacquet.
What I mean for the January?
Asim, all I've said is I've given you the name now. And you know I've talked about Buadi a long time as well. Just keep waiting, please. Keep waiting.
I don't mean to drop a grenade, but what does that say about the plan, if anything, to replace Slot in the summer? Because that must have been a part of the conversation, surely.
For me, Ben, we need two couple of centre backs anyway.
Regardless.
Yeah, we were gonna sign centre backs regardless.
Do you think a player of this age is sort of just coming and not really asking those questions? They're just coming and thinking, I'm just gonna develop my career at one of the biggest clubs in the world. I'm getting handsomely paid for it, and we'll cross the bridge when it comes to it. I suppose you could say Semenyo and Gueye have signed for City, and there's no guarantee that Pep Guardiola will be there in the summer. So maybe it's just a case of we just wait and see. We wait and see. Gene and Asim I've got off. Have you? Just me and you, mate.
Listen, Ben, I am excited. I don't even know how we go on with this show. I've got my man, Ben. I wanted Kerkez, we got him. I wanted Zubimendi, we were close to getting him. This guy, I'm happy. Jeremy Jacquet. I'm happy to actually go off for the night. 40 minutes in, I'm cracking open the champagne. No. It's a great signing.
Just for those people again who aren't sure, like me, so is he naturally left or right-sided?
Left-sided. He's left-sided. He's quick.
Right.
He's tall. 6'2", 6'3", I think. 6'2", 6'3". Listen, Ben, where he's coming from, Rennes, they've got a huge what is it? They've got a huge reputation of developing stars. Yeah. Desiree Doué, to name Camavinga, I've just named as well. This fella is the hair. I'm telling you now. I know people said Ordonez playing for Club Brugge, but I am telling you, Jeremy Jacquet is the hair.
And yeah.
Right-footed and
Now we can end the stream, can't we?
Where's Jean gone? Should be excited.
Jean Nangia.
Where is that, man? Jeremy Jacquet. Here we go. Wow.
Oh, you're not the chat are telling me he's fucking right-sided, Avi. You're saying to me he's left-sided.
Sorry,
you haven't even watched him play, bro.
Oh, yeah, no, I haven't seen him play.
I'll put him under pressure now. Go on, chat. Go for it. The guy hasn't even watched him play.
I haven't seen him play. I haven't seen him play.
Saying he's left-sided, yeah? Right? He's come on here, giving it the big gun, but he plays on the fucking right.
I'm trying to get Buadi. I'm trying to get
red card right now. Amy, Asim, listen. Amy, yeri mari gaya yaj. Sabane samne. The chat is cooking you saying he plays on the right-hand side. Ball, Jara.
They can cook me. I've got my man.
Avi, I'm taking the scout thing off you now, man. What have you been watching, Yara?
I tell you what, that is
left.
That.
By the way, I was on the other side of the room. As soon as you saw left, I legged it back.
That is a very, very interesting comment.
No.
I can't see it myself. But can I put this comment up here?
Alonso.
Anything else, Avi?
I don't know to laugh or cry with you.
Anything else, Avi?
Alonso?
Anything else?
I'm trying to get Buadi news out for my friend. Can I give him a shout out?
Who?
Can I give him a shout out, my friend? 42
shout out to who?
Can I give a shout out or not?
To who?
To the guy that I'm going to name.
Are you Buadi?
I want to give a shout out to my friend, a close friend of mine, who's within the inner circles of French football, Jeremy Laurent, and he will come on a Born and Red. He will come on a Born and Red special show within the next month.
No, he won't.
Julien Laurent.
Is it Jeremy or Julien Laurent?
It's Julien Laurent.
Julien Laurent. Need to get him on the show, don't we?
Avi's lost his head, man. Avi's lost his head. Let's go through the supers, man.
No.
Look at this. What's your favorite potato? Mine's the Jacquet. Yes, Alex. Big up, man. Thank you very much for sending that.
Stuff, Alex.
Robbie Totten. United are getting 3 now. Third now, the way they are playing. What else are we? Au revoir, or should I say bonjour, Jeremy? I'm told to get the chant ready, boys. Jacquet Jalebi baby. Jacquet
Jalebi baby.
It's done soon, boys. Inshallah. Big up,
Asim, just on this, I am 80% sure now. 80%, that's where I'm at, that Ibrahima Konate will renew his terms at Liverpool. There you go.
Okay. Let me know when it's 100%, yeah? LFC Super. Big up, lads. Could be a big 24 hours. What do you think of Jacquet? I know Avi loves him, and do you think we might get someone in now? Legends. Thank you so much. I think obviously these have been flying through from the early part of the show.
Read it again, please. I know I know Avi that bit. Read it again for me.
I know Avi loves him. Yeah, he loves him so much. He thinks he plays right wing in 5 minutes.
He's right-sided. Yeah.
Kai's come in my room, but I'll keep on flying through. What does our willingness to pay? What does our willingness to pay for Jacquet now say about the regard Gheorghe internally. Resources are there to spend right now, but they aren't interested in spending it unless it's on their summer target. I think you touched on it, Ben. 100%. This is the reason why, you know, when it backed down and they weren't going for him, and this opportunistic signing, you know, I think with Gheorghe's wages included, it was like a deal around 86 million pounds, wages included. So they probably just didn't think that that was justified. And when
This
City's
be on half of that, won't he?
yeah, I think Liverpool would have got him if Diaz and Guardiola didn't get injured. I don't think then City come in, and Liverpool would have been happy paying the sort of terms that they would have been happy with. But you know, that's you know, that ship has sailed now, and the situation changed, and City came in. Glenn Gates, I thank you very much. I want a bomber jacket.
Love it.
Buntis, Sujit, thank you very much. Leone will be better centre back than Jacquet. Boy is too good. That'll be unbelievable.
That's the future. If that's the future, I'm happy. Asim, sorry, I'm not seeming distracted. I'm sorry. I'm trying to see and verify some Bawadi news, verify properly. Look, it's working overtime now, so please excuse you. I'm allowed to be excused today. I've done the profiling.
I've done the profiling. Whatever you want. Today you got license. You got license. Joke with what you want.
I'm still on the show.
This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Let him chill today. Come on, man. How is happy today? Let him do it.
Congestion bhi ho hai yaar.
Absolutely. There's 920 people watching. I don't want them to come in and us like on our phones chatting shit, this and that. Like, talk football. Let people get impressed.
To the chat, Mafi Mangta.
Oh, here we go.
I'm sorry, Mafi Mangta today. Listen, guys, do you want news? I'm trying to get you news.
It's not news because I know what that is, that device.
Can I say as well? 900 people, like you just said in the chat. If you can't smash a like for the bomber tonight, then when can you smash a like? 270 likes so far. We want 1,000 likes tonight, people. Come on. It's Sunday night. We're all in. We've just had a massive bomber from Fabrizio. Top player coming in the summer. Let's get that like smashed right now. Not on your way out. Do it right now. Let's get that like smashed. Come on. Yeah, let's just jump up another 30. Come on. Everyone jump on it now. Smash a like on the stream.
Danny goes, nice jacket, Asim. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Feel like a jacket potato as well. Okay. Oh, look at these Arsenal fans. Look at these Arsenal fans. Come on, Liverpool. I'm a fan next Sunday. Jack is better than Saliba. We'll be saying that next season, don't worry. Are we done with the super chats, boys? Fair play to. Now that's dopamine there. Here we are. Faraz, thank you so much for sending this in. Now that we've got the dopamine, what are we doing for the next 6 months? Being sixth currently, looks like this is Jeans Burner. 90% clubs won't offer space like Newcastle. S-Jot again, big up. Fair play to Fabrizio Yara. He was saying we are in the race for ages, almost like Ekitike in the summer. People need to give him a little credit. 100%. I agree with that. 100%. He's a friend of the channel as well, Fabrizio. So if you're a friend of the channel, we give you your flowers. But maybe he'll give BNIs their flowers as well one day. You never know. Slot out for anyone. Bet his dad Puffer is over the moon and winter. I don't know what that means. Avi?
I'm not with these Gen Z kids anymore. I don't know. Today, everyone come for me today. Mafi Mangta. Everyone come for me today.
Look at that! Look at that Arsenal fans! Look at Arsenal fans, man.
This one is definitely for me. This one is definitely for me. The next one.
What? Which one?
Are we going to talk about the Newcastle game?
It goes with the next ones for me. Which one?
Sorry. Listen, guys. Let's stay on subject. Come on, let's be serious now.
Look, get your tweet out of the way. Just get it out of the way. Do you mean to tell you what to write?
How much is 70
shall I send you a tweet?
How much is 70 million euros in pounds? Do you know?
17 million euros.
68 guys.
58 million quid.
Oh, come on, Ben. Can you not round it off to 60?
You know, we're all about the quality and the precision on B&R, mate.
Very good.
Avi, let me know when you've got your tweet out of the way, man.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. I think that's enough on Jacquet now, isn't there? I think that's for 20 minutes. Let's just discuss what happened yesterday. If there anything else breaks on Jacquet, medical related and this and that, I think we'll discuss it. But I think, look, that deal is just the formalities now, isn't it?
Just around the table. Do you believe we get one more in? Asim?
Don't rule it out.
No. Don't be fucking diplomatic.
One more in.
You're not Modi, for God's sake.
Don't mention
now?
that.
Summer?
Yes or no?
Yes, for me.
Yes.
Gina?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
Avi?
I'm gonna.
Don't be all diplomatic.
I
you
believe
just shouted at Asim for.
I believe
Be
this.
straight.
I believe we're trying for a deal for the summer again, and I do believe we'll get someone in before 7 p.m. tomorrow night. UK time.
I think we'll get someone on loan tomorrow.
So 2.
Don't rule out. No. I don't believe that we'll get another lad.
Avi thinks we're getting a player tomorrow and Jacquet for the summer, correct?
Another Jacquet type signing for the summer.
So you think we're not signing anyone in Jan, but 2 signings for the summer?
We'll get someone in tomorrow as well.
Just out of interest,
again,
guys.
one second. Let me get this right.
Sorry.
So we get 1 in tomorrow and 2 in the summer.
I think we'll confirm one more for the summer. I think we may confirm someone in the summer this week. After Jacquet. And I think we're definitely going to try for a loan tomorrow.
Breaking news. Verbal agreement and Rennes for summer move. Fee is 55 million plus 5 million, as TalkSport revealed. Chelsea could match, but sources close to player and Rennes said they both now prefer
Medical tomorrow.
Pending medical.
He's on the plane. He's on the plane.
Pending medical.
Mania about the plane.
Is alive.
Mania about the plane.
But Ben, can I just say 2 things?
By the way, people, there's 1,000
there's 1,000 people in here, guys. Yeah. First and foremost, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. But can I just say,
what a show!
Look, I give Avi a lot of shit all the time. But to be fair to this piece of shit, yeah, before I came on the show, when I said to you guys something's gonna happen, he said to me, "Don't speak about Jacquet because we are gonna be doing a late night stream tonight on Jeremy Jacquet." He said that to me, the little barat, yeah. So I have to give this fucker his credit today. I have to give the guys credit. That you know what, you got this one, Avi.
He knows.
Avi, Jacquet is yours. Jacquet is yours. I'll give you Jacquet.
Smash the likes, people. I think if Liverpool signs someone else tomorrow, it's going to be a loan. I don't see Liverpool getting someone else in for the next summer.
What I was going to say, just again, pure speculation. I don't think it'll happen now. But would you do a Jones for Dumfries?
No
Come
chance.
on.
I can't do that.
We're missing for a week, and obviously, rightly so. But come on, some of these questions you're asking tonight, mate. Let's get on with it a bit.
I'm being serious. Would you do a Jones for Dumfries?
No.
The reason why I don't.
Ben, would you?
I think I would. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
I'll be honest. I'm not Jones' biggest fan. I think he's going in the summer. Do
you really rate Dumfries though?
Yeah, I think he's really good. Yeah, really good.
It's 29 though, Ben.
He's old, and it doesn't feel like a Liverpool signing, if I'm being honest. And it is just pure speculation.
Joyce, Liverpool agree fee for Jeremy Jacquet. Deal for the summer. Details in blog. Boys.
Bish, bash, bosh.
Anjay.
Raminal tonight. Raminal.
Alhamdulillah.
Say it properly.
Alhamdulillah.
Say it properly.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Oh, so Asim, just to confirm, £55 million plus 5 million. So that's 60 million. Chalo theek hai, no problem. Toba. Oh my.
Bro, we got a signing whilst we were live, bro. Can you believe it? We got a signing.
Unbelievable.
It's about
We deserved it. Caicedo, we got our hearts broken. We had our hearts broken with Zubimendi. I think Ben brought good luck because Ben wasn't here with the. We had another member as a fourth.
Yeah, man.
He's brought good luck.
Yeah.
This is on
Nazar
Ben.
Nalo. Nazar Nalo.
No.
Ben, just going
Beautiful.
on Curtis, are you not concerned? Look, I think he probably leaves in the summer. I think there's a bit of a standoff when it comes to Curtis, his camp, and the club, and what the club think he's worth. But are you not afraid? Because it's a department that we. It's probably the department that we've got most depth in McAllister, and especially if you consider Florian Wirtz in the number 10 position as well. So, it's a lot of games coming up, Ben. A lot of games, and at the end of the day,
there is a lot.
If Curtis only played around about 10 appearances, I can understand. But he's played well this season, Ben. He's played well.
Yes, he has played well this season. But to me, it feels like, you're basically saying to Frimpong, you're playing every game between now and the end of the season when he's fit again. And he's already broke down twice this season. So there's clearly an issue with his hamstring. He is going to be rushed back. Let's not make no mistake about that. He's going to be rushed back because we haven't got a right back. I don't want to see Szoboszlai playing at right back if at any length of time because he's so important in midfield. And I just feel as though, if we have a really, really good, quality, reliable right back to see us over the line this season, then yeah. And I'm not talking about permanent. I'm talking about it would be a loan for Curtis Jones with the view to buy, and it would probably be a loan for Dumfries as well. I think that's the reality.
I will go and just go out and say I'm trying to be hypothetical here and making some thesis guesswork here. I think Jones potentially goes in the summer. I think there are obviously rumors we don't want to offer him what he wants, so he goes for 40 million, and I think Bouhaddi is there to be enticed for around 50 million. I think that would be a like for like, although there's a lot more in the locker with this Bouhaddi kid, and I think that would be a sort of straight swap in terms of Jones goes that Bouhaddi comes in.
David Ornstein, what's he said, Gene?
Because Liverpool had agreed a deal for Rennes for the signing of defender Jeremy Jacquet. The deal could be for the summer, and is expected to be worth 55 plus 5 in add-ons with personal terms not set to be an issue. So he hasn't mentioned anything about Chelsea, so we move.
I've not seen the update from him. Wow.
No, he hasn't tweeted it yet. He must have put it in in some sort of group.
Yeah, he'll tweet it now. He puts in that.
This is a massive signing. And to get one over Chelsea finally, the Lavia deal, the Caicedo deal, the Salah deal back when he was at Basel.
Yeah, that's
to get one over them. This is absolutely monumental. We're back in the big time. And look, fair play to the owners, fair play to Hughes and Edwards. Listen, they ballsed it up last summer a little bit. We get it. Great summer in terms of the players now coming to fruition and playing well. But we were left a centre-back short. We were left a left winger short. But this Jacquet kid, oh my. He's ready.
But isn't it a case, though, we just haven't got the money to replace the entire squad in one go? And that's just the reality of it. This is always going to be a 2-3 phase section. We all said, didn't we? We're going to probably spend the same amount of money this summer as we would last summer. I think Liverpool, that's definitely the case. And I think that's regardless of who the manager is. I think it feels like a hierarchy sort of plan that is regardless of who the manager is.
David Ornstein thinks Liverpool view Jacquet as being a more valuable long-term acquisition than Gheorghe in their model, hence the push to sign the French youth international, reports David Ornstein. Apparently, there's still fear of a hijack. So don't rule it out, people. Don't rule it out. Bit of caution.
You know if that happens.
We've had the here we go from Fabrizio, haven't we? He never does a here we go unless it.
Oh, Brendan, I've seen fucking.
He did it for Caicedo. He did a here we go.
And I've seen Joyce's saying that Caicedo was done. I was doing streams at 2 a.m. in the morning, mate, and they flipping came and there are ladders. There's a reason why I'm slightly
cautious. Did a here we go for Caicedo for us.
Yeah, Ornstein, Joyce, all of them did it. Because it was a done deal. We'd agreed with Brighton and everything.
I have some question for you, though.
Okay,
yeah. He has only had 54 games. So he has not. We've not looked at that 150 game data thing that we look at. He's only had 54 first team games. He was at Rennes B, the obviously the reserve team, for 31 games, but he's only played 54 times for Rennes, and he was on loan to Clermont last season. He was on loan to them, where he played 18 games. That was League 2. So they've obviously looked at his potential and said, no, he's not this is someone that we can't pass the opportunity on.
Exactly that, Avi. Exactly that. I think they realize is when they've lost out on Euro, they lost out on a few of the players. Huysen was another, and although they got Leone, but sorry,
who's that?
Yeah, no, Huysen, you're spot on.
Yeah, so I think they realize maybe they have to, we've been asking the club to pay a premium. And, look, Chelsea with their model bringing in, giving 8-year contracts. So you have to go in there. And we've just been told that this player had a preference for Chelsea. So when you go on, if Liverpool do end up getting him, we've hijacked Chelsea. And when you hijack a deal, generally speaking, you have to pay another £5-6 million. So it looks like the Chelsea have also been working on the deal. Liverpool believe they are in a strong position if Jacquet does not move during the January window. So all these tweets keep coming out by the second. But look, I'm a firm believer. Liverpool
tweeted as well.
Sorry,
saying that Man United winning for him as well.
Man United
just tweeted.
Look, all the big clubs, and when the big boys are there, Avi, you have to pay the dollar. In the grand scheme of things, when you go and get a player like Leone, get a player like Jeremy Jacquet, and you have a project for them for the best part of the next 7 to 10 years, then what the hell's an extra £5-10 million? It's nothing. And it's going in the department where we've literally bought 3-4 players in the last 5-6 years. We've neglected the defense for far too long, and it's time to put it right, Avi.
And it looks as if they are future-proofing. Look, Virgil van Dijk, if we can get another 18 months out of him, I'm not sure if he'll get another extension. Although, you do believe he could get an extension. He would be a great sort of foil for youngsters like Leone and Jacquet over the next couple of years. If we can make him stay and they can learn this, their development or their schooling from someone like Virgil van Dijk, that bodes well. And Konate, we still forget, Konate is still 25, 26, Asim. It would be amazing if he stays, because those are 3 boxed off, and you look at another one, maybe a Schlotterbeck or someone else in the summer. So we still need another centre-back on top of Leone and Jacquet.
It looks like Ornstein said he's chosen Liverpool, so it doesn't. He's coming to us. Ornstein literally just said, "No." He goes, his last sentence was, France under-20 international picked LFC, viewed as a key part of the team rebuild. So he's picked us. So it's like it doesn't matter what Chelsea sort of do now. If he's picked us, so
I think a certain flavor of the season at Liverpool, Gheorghe Hagi, has played a part in this for sure. There's definitely conversations where who have Chelsea got in terms of Frenchman? Disasi. Who's the other one they've got? They've got the other Frenchman as well. They had Badashi, but I think he's out on loan, isn't he?
Yeah, I think God knows. Even
Disasi's so many. They bought so many.
You can't keep up, man.
Loads.
He's definitely. I think Ekitike has played a big part in this, and hopefully we might.
Anjay Romano says no hijack, no surprises. Jeremy Jacquet will join Liverpool. Here we go.
At least you know what. Finally, you know what, we did one. We got one over the line, and it doesn't matter. We hijacked Chelsea, mate. Gal karo. It's about time we did a hijack on somebody, man.
And it doesn't really actually have any impact on the manager, because if he's coming in the summer and the manager is being replaced potentially, then it was never part of the conversation, was it?
Look, Ben, I don't really want to talk about, the manager, say right now, mate. I'll be honest with you, because you know what? Flipping, we had a good win yesterday. I don't like, I'm at that stage now, Ben, where you know what? It is what it is. Honestly, it is what it is. I can't be arsed fucking going for the manager, again and again. We've come off 2 wins. Yeah. I want the top 4 position somehow. And let's see what happens over there. He had a good win yesterday.
But I feel like we need to be like, sorry to interrupt you, Gene. I feel like we need to be like that if we lose a game, which would be really hard because there will be a massive clamour again. But I think the reality is we are going to lose games again between now and the end of the season because we're not the finished article, not by a long shot. But the reality is it's not healthy for anybody, the fan base, all of us. If every time we have a positive result, we're like, yeah, we're all in, let's go for it. And every time we have a negative result, it's like we need to get Steven Gerrard in or whoever else in. I just think we need to just run with it now. We just run with it and just all back him. I felt like it was a real sea change yesterday. I know we've said that a few times, but I felt like I never went to the game, obviously, but I had a few friends who did, and they said the atmosphere was completely different to what it's been at any other point during the season. And especially at the end, and it sounds mad, but the Konate situation where he scored and whatnot, it felt like there was a real coming together and a real sort of like, you know what, let's go for it. And we still might come up short. We still might have another injury or two. And if something happens to Wirtz or something happens to Van Dijk or whatever, then it could be a complete car crash. We end up finishing 8th or 9th, which would be a travesty. But if everyone stays fit, we've got a real chance of going for it. So let's just go for it.
I just want to come in on this as well. Obviously, it's been a tough couple of weeks for Ibu, Asim, and yesterday was a great tribute, and him getting that goal. That was definitely, I think we tweeted and Gene tweeted it. It was something definitely sent from the heavens. And I'm not saying he doesn't, because he knows he's got that connection with Liverpool fans, especially from day one. He won't get that at Real Madrid. I'm hoping that he doesn't ever come across that problem again, with family members or anything. But he won't have that affection and love like Liverpool fans give their players. You won't get that at Real Madrid. Real Madrid are very quick to turn a blind eye and start waving their white towels in disgust. We've seen, even Trent once or twice being sort of jeered and booed by the fans. We've seen Jude Bellingham get the treatment. We've seen Vinny Jr. after all the years that he's given Real Madrid and won the European Cups and Player of the Year awards and whatnot, and scoring bag full of goals, get booed and jeered. We've seen Mbappe in his first season get jeered. He won't get that at Liverpool. And at 26 years old, and with Jacquet coming in, with Ekitike coming in, he could be like, look, Virgil's got another year to go. Konate stays, he could be that next leader. And hopefully he felt a bit of, he definitely felt that love yesterday at Anfield, but hopefully he can just sense that this is the club for me, regardless of what happens with Slot and which manager comes in. I can take this club forward, because the yesterday of Konate is the Konate that we've seen in previous years, a consistent Konate. There are very few better. And if he gives us this for the next 20 games, I know we've got 40 in the league, and whatever happens in the Champions League and FA Cup games, say 20 games, if he gives us this solid run now, like we saw the performance yesterday, you don't want to lose a player of that ilk.
I've never wanted to lose Ibu Konate. I've defended him at times. Yes, I've given him shit where we were down in the dumps and he made mistakes, and everybody did. But if we're honest, we try to always back him because we know there's an unbelievable defender there. And at the end of the day, you can't be a player. You can't play for Liverpool for 4 or 5 years when we've won a title and gone through what he's gone through with us and be a shit fucking defender. It just doesn't make sense. Yes, he has a few moments here and there, but generally speaking, if you look at his career, if you take away the injuries, he's actually had a really, really good career at Liverpool. Just been hampered by this season. But if I'm honest with you, right, this season, fucking half the team's been shit. It's not just Ibu Konate. The half of this football club has been shit. Yes, he made the mistakes and the centre backs to get caught, but so many other players made mistakes. Salah's been shit. We got to go down the bend. Even Virgil van Dijk, I blasted him this season. There's a lot of players that have been shit this season. But I felt like, he was, because like the manager said, he was at the crime scene. He always got the shit more than the other players, because they were maybe bigger legends. They probably got away with it more than he did, if we're honest. And yes, he hasn't been brought lately. A few games he's played there, he's showing signs that this team is getting better. I think with a few more players around him that improve us defensively, because our midfield hasn't been nowhere near good enough off the ball. So that really, he struggled in that aspect of it as well. Like Asim mentioned, you take away his right back, you take, the midfield is not the same. The man's going to struggle, and he has. But there, for me, he has to sign a contract, man. Liverpool have to get him signed. Because trust me, it's not every day you can, how much is Jacquet costing you? 70 million euros, whatever it's called. 70 million quid is Jacquet is going to cost you, plus obviously his contract, the wages. Ibrahima Konate, just sometimes you got to say weigh up the options and say, is he worth it? I think he is. He's already proven that he's proven himself at Liverpool Football Club, and he's only 25, 26, like Avi said.
I think Liverpool need to consider, if they do enter that negotiation room again, Ben, is how much of a big player Konate is. I think we sometimes forget that. Even in finals that we've lost, he's arguably been our best player.
Paris.
It's a big player, and generally speaking, a lot of his bozo moments do come against teams that we just sometimes take it easy. Maybe as a team, and especially the defensive line are supposed to be providing the foundation. And let the illustrious attackers do their thing, but on the big day, I can't really remember. Something doesn't stick out where he's let us down. Very, very, very rarely, Ben, and that needs to be.
He was man of the match, wasn't he, in the Champions League final?
He was
man of the match
by a clear margin.
I'm going to say this now, and I include myself in this. Very much include myself in this. We've given loads of stick this season, massive stick. But the problem with Ibrahima Konate, and if you actually analyse it, it's not that he's not a good player. He's a fabulous defender. He's a superb defender. It's, as you say, guys, it's the lapses in concentration. It's the mad moments where he just literally switches off. But what's just come out over the last couple of weeks is that, he's had a deep tragedy to deal with within his family. We have got no idea whether or not that's been something that's been building over the last few weeks or months. We have no idea. That could have been something that come out the blue. Yeah. And you know what? We shouldn't be nothing to do with us, but it just shows you, doesn't it, that we just don't know what's going on behind closed doors with some of these players. And maybe it is food for thought that we all just need to get off his back a little bit and get off all of their back and be realistic about the situation.
This comment here from Ice Snake, he says, Asim, but you hate on him because he isn't good on the ball. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say he's elite on the ball. Like, it's all about partnerships all over the pitch. Virgil van Dijk, Robbo didn't need to be great on the ball all these years because Van Dijk was there. He was covering him if he had to go, and he could go and cover him in terms of space and in terms of progression. On the other side, Konate and Trent were a brilliant. Forget Konate and Thingy. Just look at yesterday's game. The reason why Liverpool's counter-attack was evident is because we had that long ball, that transition, that channel ball over the top. How many times have Liverpool played that this season? Once, maybe from a couple of times from Bradley. Szoboszlai played that ball. And I don't want Szoboszlai to be our right back, but this is the reason why I've been talking about deep progression. But it also gave relief to Konate to be the jeweler, to go and mop up the sides. I've been calling him the best channel defender for the last 2-3 years.
And I'll massively defend Asim on that case, because we all said that he's not good enough on the ball, and he isn't good enough on the ball, but he's never been good enough on the ball. And that's Liverpool's fault with the squad building, not Konate's fault. If somebody is like brilliant in the air, but they're not that good on the ball, then you need to compensate and have somebody who is good on the ball around him. And Trent was obviously that player. There's attributes that some defenders don't have, and you have to compensate it. Unless you get one of the world's greatest, i.e. Virgil van Dijk in his prime, who's basically brilliant at everything. They just don't grow on trees. They just don't. So therefore, you need to be able to compensate. Like, there's elements of Gue's game that aren't good enough, but you compensate with in other areas of the team. And the fact is that Konate has been exposed this year because our replacement right backs for the unicorn in Trent Alexander-Arnold are not as good on the ball as what he was, and therefore that's where it's exposed Konate. He can't just become a fabulous player on the ball overnight. That's the reality of it. But what he is a great defender. But he's obviously made key mistakes this year in key moments, and that
is one of the reasons why I'm a firm believer of a lot of the mistakes have come is because there's no clarity in his role. I think in his defense, I think there was probably too much onus and responsibility to be that progressor. And in games, let's be honest, especially against Inter Milan, sticks out where Liverpool were controlled, Liverpool were putting. But look what Liverpool have had to do to aid that build-up. pack the midfield, and the number 10 comes really deep and picks the ball up. The Szoboszlai, the right winger, comes into number 10 position, and sometimes in a situational double pivot along Gravenberch. There's a lot of fluidity there, but there's a lot of numbers there. And one of the reasons why Liverpool had a lot of control is what we did is we had to sort out our build-up. You can't have a control in the game if you don't have a steady technical back line with a lot of passing lanes. And that's what Liverpool have done. And maybe that's why we were saying Liverpool gone from here to here. It got the control, but we don't have the creativity. And, Salah, for me, provides that. But, let's go on maybe later on Salah, because I thought he had a poor game. But in isolation, you add someone like Salah, he attracts attention. And it's no coincidence why we haven't, or we've created more and we've scored more, is because the introduction of Salah provides that. I repeat, he had a shocker yesterday. Shocker. But you can't deny that other players get a bit more space because of him. But I want to come to...
Totally agree.
Sorry?
I totally agree on Salah. I know we said we're going to cover it in a minute, but I totally agree in that he was very poor yesterday. But it doesn't matter because he's such a threat and he's so capable of something out of the ordinary that you have to deal with him. You have to mark him, and you still have to, the same way as Gakpo, even though he's been poor in general this season, he's still a threat. He still has the ability to score a goal at any moment. So you have to deal with him. And if you've got 4 options in attack who are all capable of doing something, one of them only needs to click. Yesterday, it was Wirtz and Ekitike. On next Sunday, it could be Salah or Gakpo. And that's what you want. You want options.
Why are you smiling for it, Avi?
No, because some people are telling Chino to smile and he's forcing it now by smiling. He looks like a clown.
You're on mute as well.
Mute, Chin.
I'm actually quite relaxed now, Veer. I'm a bit relaxed. We won the race for the summer. Okay, I'm happy about that. I'm actually happy about that. You know what I've been doing?
TK liking the here we go already.
Yeah. I saw that.
Seen that.
I saw that.
So, yes, we wanted to bring on, you want to talk about someone?
Ekitike, I think that partnership is Wirtz, Avi. I said on the stream, I said it in my fan cam as well. I think this partnership, the duo, has got the potential to be one of the best Premier League partnerships ever. And I've gone early. I know I have. People will say, calm down, Asim. But in terms of potential, footballing ability, the understanding from the early days that we've seen, I think I've used the term. I used the term once before, but Avi, these two can be whatever they want.
They certainly can. We all knew Florian Wirtz had the intelligence, the smartness, the know-how of getting out of tricky situations, as we saw with the first goal. I never knew, and look, lack of watching Ekitike week in, week out in the German league or for Rhein or for PSG, I never knew he had the intelligence either. What a smart footballer, Asim. He can do everything. I would like him to be more of an aerial threat and win the headers when the ball, when the ball is in the air. I would like him, and I think that'll come. He's only 22. I think that'll come at 24, 25. He can be an aerial threat as well against the best of the defenders. But him on the deck with Florian Wirtz, they're a joy. I don't know how many combinations they've registered, but I believe there's something silly already. And when you think that there's so much to come from Florian Wirtz and there's another gear in Ekitike, it's scary. He's blown us all away, guys. We got him in the summer and we thought, okay, he's the project who will need 18 months. Isak's going to be our number one. I think we all agreed on that. We never knew that Ekitike was going to blow this league away or in Europe like he has. The one thing that Asim, I always look at for a forward, for a striker, if he's going to play centrally, is does he have that extra yard, that acceleration? We count on that so much as a football club throughout the years. Did Torres have it? Yes, he did. Even Suarez, he wasn't the quickest, but he had that little bit of, I can put in another sort of 2 miles per hour sort of run. I've got it in me. This guy is another one. And I saw that early on against Bilbao in the friendly when he sets that goal up for Salah in the friendly game at Anfield. He had that acceleration. And from that day on, I thought, okay, we've got more than a project. We saw it in the Community Shield, that finish. And yes, there's been a little spell where he found it tough. The Burnley game away, I thought, okay, that's your introduction to the Premier League. Had it tough that day. But boy, he's answered his critics, if there were any back yesterday. The arrogance, the cheekiness, the tongue out. I don't want that. I don't want us to tame that. I know we've got a habit of taming that a little bit in our forwards previously, like with the Suarez's or the the forwards who've come to this football team, and we're all about humility and being humble. But we cannot take away that from Hugo's game. He will take that out himself in a few years. But right now,
no, I don't want him to take it.
No. But what happens is
back your shit.
But as a footballer, what happens is you mature that a little bit more. You don't pull out the tongue at 26, 27. You start doing it in other ways. But the way he riled up the Newcastle,
you can pull out anything you want,
like that, and he did that.
You grab me a brace, you can pull out anything you want.
I just hope we don't tame. I just hope we don't tame that arrogance and just tell him to peg it down a little bit, because he is frightening. And we talk about Mbappe leading the line for France. This boy will be next to him at the World Cup.
Yeah.
I love the way he started to use his body in the last 6 or 7 weeks. He started to use his body a lot more than he did in the beginning. His frame is you can't get the ball off him. He was getting knocked off the ball very early at the beginning of the season. I think that's something is really noticeable. Sorry, Asim. Go on, Coach Gene.
I was going to say, talking about getting things out, I think he's got a cocky side to him, Gene.
Fuck, boy, he has. And trust me, look, there's going to be time. I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be time he's going to piss you off. There's going to be time he's going to piss the manager off. There's going to be times where he's not going to be happy about somebody. He's going to have a go at a player. But that is just who he is. And that's his personality. You've already seen that little thing that happened with Ibrahima Konate in that game against Brighton. So he's got this X factor in him. And you can look, all geniuses have this arrogance and they have this nuttiness in them. I like it. I'll be honest with you. I don't want us to be goody two-shoes. I want a player to go out there and say, bring it on. Yeah. And look, the thing yesterday, and me and Asim were talking about it, is Dan Burn and the other centre-back, Jacquet, came out when they were up against him in that second half. Their shit come out because they realised he's winning everything. This is a guy who was holding up ball yesterday. This is a guy who was holding up, turning and going. And Ben, you mentioned it, over the last 4 to 5 weeks, a major improvement in his game has been that holding, turning and going. And that is, honestly, it's a difficult trait to have. He's got them dangly long legs. He can be able to he can easily put the ball past you and go. He's got the characteristics to be an unbelievable forward. Look, Fernando Torres and Gerrard, in terms of a partnership, Asim, they were elite. They were literally elite. Gerrard was probably the best number 10 in world football at that time when Torres was number 9. So look, these two have a crazy ceiling. But obviously, look, there's still a long way to go. But give these two now the tools on the wingers, Asim. They need wingers. They need wingers who are willing to run.
You know what's fascinating as well? Yeah, you know what's fascinating? If Isak hadn't got injured, then I don't think we would have seen this development from Ekitike. It's almost as if, like, in a strange sort of way, the fact that he's now the main man and being given the mantle of being the main man, he's embraced that massively, because you might have seen a very much of a bit par player if Isak had been the main man, to the point where he might have forced himself onto the left wing and given Cody Gakpo a serious battle, which we probably all would have liked to have seen. And I think I've not completely, forgot the idea that could be the case next season. If we went and bought one elite winger to replace Salah, and then Ekitike becomes the number 9, because let's not have it right. Isak's not sitting on the bench next season, but I don't want to dampen Ekitike's development either. So I think it's going to be a really, really interesting debate and situation over the summer, because you can't hold this kid back.
I think the beauty about the partnership is, like, when you get a number 10 and a number 9 who's a box striker, and there have been partnerships. You could probably argue like De Bruyne and Aguero, but Aguero wasn't involved in the play as much as Ekitike, even though he was not bad. He wasn't that bad. He was probably more of a box striker. He did have little roaming traits as well, and he had a decent shot outside the box. But there have been like a proper number 10 and a proper number 9. But the beauty about these two is that they don't. If your number 10 is quiet, then generally it means that the number 9 will have only about 4 or 5 touches. How many times have we seen Haaland, for example, not involved? But these two always want to field the ball, always. And in a similar fashion, obviously different profiles, different players, in Mane and Salah. They could both receive outside, both receive inside, and in a similar fashion, these two are such great footballers. And even Kai agrees with me, who's just literally stormed the room as well. Look, he knows there's 1,100 people here, and he wants to. He's excited. He's not sleeping because we've signed Jeremy Jacquet today. But I think the ceiling and anything is possible for these two, and I'm particularly pleased for Wirtz. And look, I don't want to talk about what people have been saying and this and that, but I think you have to give him a lot of credit, especially. And look, Gene has got a point in terms of no, I don't want to go down that.
I actually wasn't going to mention that, but what was I going to mention? I was going to mention that.
Look, he has had a point where, and he admitted it yesterday in his fan cam that look, the level of opposition. Yes, he's played well. Yes, he's a brilliant footballer and all that stuff. And let's be honest, he wanted to sign him more than anyone in the summer. But yesterday is the game. Yesterday, it could have been a different conversation, especially the way we started after 35 minutes. And he took that little easy run into the box. And that's what we want from our big players. We didn't buy him for £125 million to score a hat-trick against Burnley, even though there was all the talk about him breaking down a low block. If you spend £125 million on someone, you need them to turn up on the big day. And we've just been talking about Konate turning up on the big day. And Florian Wirtz, for me, turned up, and that connection. And I quote. He's chilling. I quote the great man. I quote the great man that he smells football, and I think Gheorghe Ekitike himself described it perfectly.
And Gene, I just want to come on, and Ben, you can take this as well, Ben. But that finish, that's not an easy finish, by the way. But that touch and the way he passed it,
not me finish, mate.
The way of the pass was Salah, and then the way he parries it, he passes it into the net. And when you got that, the way he angled, the way the ball, it was on the side of the goal net, wasn't it? The angle was absolutely perfect. And that finish,
the funny thing was, top defenders will say to you, if you're good enough, beat me. Put the Ekitike goes to Thiaw, I'm your fucking daddy.
Yeah.
Put it past him. And that
Asim rates Thiaw. He rates Thiaw.
That finish.
The pace to go past Thiaw was.
Thiaw did what every defender can do there. What Thiaw did is saying, I'm going to show you on the outside. If you're good enough,
show you on your left.
You take me on the outside. And he covered the cut in and shoot. But what the beauty about Ekitike did is he slowed him down. Yeah. He slowed him down. And the timing, and that's what every great striker does. And obviously, we've talked about how Torres used to do that, slow people down and then go. Because the conventional finish is to go take it on the outside and wrap your left foot around it. But the way he did it was unbelievable. Torres I called it a bit of Romario in it as well. And I said it straight away, where Romario used to do that. And the best thing about if you take it early, whether it's your instep, whether it's a toe poke, whether it's your outside of the foot, is you catch the keeper cold and on his feet, on his heels. So that's what happened, and what a finish!
None of us saw it coming.
Yeah,
none of us saw it coming, did they? So Pope definitely didn't see it coming. And actually, ironically, I don't know if you remember, but his chance in the later on in the game when he was clean through, that was an even better chance. What you wanted to see him do is take that with his left and just bend it in the left hand corner, and he ended up putting it wide. So there's still loads and loads to come, but that electric finish, and that's what it was. It was electric finish, and that lifted the ground, and that took us into a different sort of mold. And you know what? It was what's called, because Asim's right. We were very, very average. We were poor for the first half an hour. Newcastle, bullied us. They deserved to score. They had that great chance from Barnes that hit the post, and then Gordon did his customary goal against us sort of thing. He played out, hasn't scored from open play for about 750 years, and then he goes and scores against us. And they were on top, and rightly on top. But Liverpool got that goal, and you know what? Slot said a lot of shit in press conferences over the last couple of weeks. I think. He's felt the pressure massively. But one thing he did say that I think is absolutely key is that he said, if we're brilliant in one box or the other between now and the end of the season, we'll be fine. If we're brilliant in both boxes between now and the end of the season, anything's possible. And that's what we were on yesterday. We were brilliant in both boxes. We defended really well when we had to, but for up the other end of the pitch, we were electric. And you know what? Anything's still possible this season. Anything is still possible this season if the crowd gets going at Anfield.
Asim, may I say something?
Of course.
I'll ask you nicely as well, because I know Kane's in the room, so I don't want to insult you or anything. Can we please talk? Again, now Ben's on, and there's a quartet of us. Can we please talk about my brother, my Hungarian brother, Milos Kerkez? I think he deserves a bit of credit now. In the last 8 weeks, he has shown why we invested that money. He has shown why he was the Premier League's best left back in the last sort of year and a half. He's getting back to his best. I thought yesterday for the goal, yes, I thought Ali again, he knew where the ball was going. He could have done slightly better. And Ali's been a bit suspect in the last 2, 3, 4 weeks. But yes, okay, Kerkez goes to ground like he usually does. Could have covered it better. But that ball to Ekitike, I think that's his first official assist in the Premier League. But there's another couple of gears to come from Kerkez. But he's finally showing up, lads. And anyone can take it away.
I think it's only right for you to take it away, isn't it?
No, I've taken it away, but I want you three to finally admit that he can play football. He can play on the deck. He is a comfortable footballer, and now we're seeing his work. I tell you what he's got though.
I still don't think.
I
I've got a problem with his passing, if I'm being honest.
He's a fucking bulldog, by the way.
He's a bulldog.
Can I first, Avi, can I just say something positive first before you lot start? The one thing about yesterday's game that I love more than anything is that fucker, when that shit happened with our team, he was the first one there. He said, bring it on. Yeah. That is the biggest thing that in his performance over yesterday. Yes, he did some good things. But you know what? I love that in a footballer. That, you know what? He takes bring it on. I don't give a shit who you are. Don't go for my players. I want them type of footballers. I'm sick of, and I mentioned it many a times. I do not want goody two-shoes anymore. This league isn't for goody two-shoes. Bro, you have to be Rami. He's got that flipping Hungarian grit, whatever you want to call it. He's got that thing. He's got the minerals to go out there and say, bring it on. And I love the fact that he went there and said, bring it on. Look, he had to be calmed down by the Liverpool players. But you need that. And yes, we know he loves a tackle. For the goal, Avi, I don't really blame him that much. He tried to block it. Gheorghe got his shot and he went under his legs. What can you do? It happens.
Yeah.
It's sometimes
Go on, Gene. Go on.
Yeah, and look, he's still only 21 years old.
22,
yeah, so 22 now, right, guys. There's still a lot that this kid needs to improve on, and he will hopefully improve to become an unbelievable left back. But still, right now, there's still movement, Avi. There's still lots to improve on in terms of his game. But there's no doubt about it. Over the last 6 to 7 weeks that he's been playing, there is a major improvement from his early days, the early days at Liverpool to now. There has been a massive improvement in his game.
Avi, he has been brilliant over the last 4, 5, 6 weeks. I was never ever concerned about, bar him going down on his ass a bit too many times. But the thing is, like, he's got the recovery pace, and I think he knows that. He's a bulldog. That's exactly the way you describe him. And there's no surprise, going back to yesterday's game, is why he flourishes in those types of games. Newcastle made it into a transition type of game. And that's what it was. It was, and when that occurs, it's all about battles, it's all about duels, it's all about eating space, and the game is stretched. And that's what Milos Kerkez wants and thrives upon, because when the game is all about counterattacks and eating up space and recovery tackles, that's what he is. And Liverpool, that's why, these sort of players thrive upon it. It's when those in controlled environments where you just need that timing, that maturity, that technical ability. At the moment, for me, he doesn't have it. And I think that is his next. If he wants to be a world-class fullback, then that is his, sort of progression.
Comes with age, though, doesn't it?
Maturity does. You could argue that Robbo was never the technical fullback, but he was okay. But I think in the back line of Trent and Virgil van Dijk, I think he got away with it. And then he spent a few years with Gini Wijnaldum in the midfield and Thiago in midfield and all these guys. So his technical levels weren't needed. All his energy was needed in all those years. But I think Liverpool have obviously not got those type of players in the team right now. But I think Liverpool have found a sort of a good medium with him right now, that they start him a bit higher, they let him go, they give him a bit more protection, and he provides the intensity. And then there is no coincidence where his better football and better form is evident over the last 4 or 5 weeks, is because Florian Wirtz and the likes of Ekitike, and just before that, before Curtis got unwell, is Curtis were connecting, because they're the ball manipulators and he's the movement, he's the intensity. And again, like we were talking about Konate, having clarity to your role is exactly the same thing with Kerkez. A bit more clarity, he knows what he's doing, and he provides it.
Yeah. Ben, still fancy Rob over Kerkez?
Yeah, I'm very much on the same wavelength as the guys, to be honest. I still think he's got a lot to improve upon technically, and whether or not that can be coached. Technicality normally is more difficult to coach than physicality, because you can build yourself up in the gym, no problem, over time. But he has got that natural physicality without a shadow of a doubt. Bulldog is a great description. Still, as I say, you can still see that there's definitely, you know, a what's called a weakness in his passing. You know, his short to middle range passing. I know we played that ball in for Ekitike, but it was just a ball into space, and it was a good ball sort of thing. But it was not a precision pass to feet. And I think that's something that, you know, we're not looking at small wins here. We're looking at, like, you know, elite levels, and there's loads to work with. He's a lot of coaching, and you've seen a lot of improvements over the last couple of months. So let's hope that can kick on again. I think, you know, he's so young. There's massive potential there without a shadow of a doubt. And as Gene said, you know, you love the fact that he's got that attitude, he's got that heart and desire. He looks like an absolute brick wall in terms of physicality. So, you know, he looks very, very unlikely to get injured, and he looks very unlikely, you know, to break down, sort of thing. From a general physicality, looks like he could run all day. He's very much in the same mold as Szoboszlai, to be honest. From that perspective, looks like he could run all day. So yeah, there's loads to work with, loads to improve on. But yeah, it's still a work in progress.
Asim, I just want to come in on this, and before we move on, Kerkez and Frimpong are absolutely crucial in the latter stages of the Champions League, by the way. They will be crucial. They're running, the aggression, the pressing, the way they'll hound the opposition. Those two on the wings, I think they will be key for our success.
I'm worried about Frimpong.
Yeah, too much. Look, there's a lot of
not about if he can be influential.
Mileage.
Is that 3 injuries, man?
And similar, I think there's all similar injuries pulling up on this hamstring.
They're rushing him back. That's the reality of it, isn't it? You know, he probably needs 6 weeks longer.
Ben, with hamstrings, it's either you go under the knife, or you think that you can nurse it until the end of the season, do something in the summer. These injuries, he will get. This is the problem that Sturridge had. He felt that he was okay, but when he got on the pitch, he said, mentally, I just knew I was like 2-3 games away of pulling up again.
But nothing happened at Leverkusen. He's not like had a history of hamstrings. It's just this season that it started.
But at Leverkusen,
so I'd like to think that it's not. But
those 3 seasons, though.
Oh yeah, the physicality is totally different.
150 games in 3 seasons.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot, and especially the way Alonso's team were playing with last-minute winners in that title-winning season. The amount of last-minute winners that he was involved in himself, Frimpong, it's telling now. It is a bit sad.
That's why I definitely. It's clear to say that they want somebody, without a shadow of a doubt. They want somebody there, because obviously Bradley's done for the season. I don't want to see Szoboszlai playing there unless it's really, really crucial. We need a player there. We need a player.
Yeah, 100%. I think Liverpool
just
will
reading
bring
sorry, just reading, just laughing at Ben Jacobs' latest tweet. He's just played the Rio Ingamoa card by saying, you know, the way we didn't want to block Rio's pathway. Well, Chelsea have not signed Chelsea have not signed Jacquet because they don't want to block Josh Akipong's pathway. And they've all got the same words, they've all got the same comments to say, haven't they? So yeah, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's just a club narrative, isn't it? And they have to feed it. Let's get through some super chats from earlier as well. Mohsin, always supporting the channel. Big up, brother. Isn't it great to get one over Chelsea for once? Welcome to the best club in the world. Jeremy Jacquet, nicely put. I think Tom Little was in the chat as well. Big up to Tom. Simon, can we have a minute silence for Kaveh Solikol? Why? What happened?
He said it's done.
Oh, he said it's
Chelsea,
done.
all the shit.
Tonight?
SL10,
Tonight?
Whoa, yesterday I think it was.
Can we not mention
A couple of
Kaveh?
days ago.
Don't mention his.
It was
Don't mention
it's
his name.
done
Just say
deal, all that type of shit.
he's not someone that I respect.
Only wants Chelsea, blah, blah, blah.
Only
Okay.
was Chelsea. Yeah, that's what he said.
David Wright, big up. David, thank you very much for sending this super chat, but send in your comment as well, mate. We'll put it in.
Oh, come on, David.
Esho,
That's David Wright, wasn't it?
Gene, read this one out.
David Wrong.
Gaddi da hasbol ye yara. Unta smile
Unta
kar.
smile kar raha hai.
Big up, Ash. Thank you so much. Ekitike and Wirtz looking like, nice. Like a Nelka and Burkham 98 partnership. We look so much better playing forward quicker and getting Ekitike involved and playing off him. That's how you get a low block. So,
You know what they had? You know what they had?
Mr. Slot.
They had Overmars on the left, though. We've got
They had wingers, man.
Oh, they're both Dutch. We've got the Dutch connection, but yeah, we need a left winger. And I'll go on to a left winger when we wrap up.
Okay. Delvin, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll
Very
call
much,
him Del
Delwyn.
Boy.
That's very kind.
Boy's from Wales. He's from Wales, by the way, boys.
Del Boy, a very generous super chat there. Thank you so much. It's about time Hughes realized we need to invest in a new centre back to strengthen our centre back, as it looks like it's really thin as of right now. Shout out to Avi FSG. There's a lot of business to do behind the scenes, especially Slot is still uncertain.
Big up Del Boy. He's a big wrestling fan, Asim, so he would have enjoyed the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia for the first time. They hosted one of the big events, Royal Rumble. So big up to Roman Reigns for winning it. So big up Del Boy. Always a contribution.
Joyce's report said that Jeremy Jacquet is the start of Liverpool's defensive rebuild. So, you know, you can read what you want.
The defensive revamp.
It means that.
You know, we're happy today. You know why? You got Leonie Shioni, I got Jacquet Make. Oh yeah.
I mean, me and you two are the game. He's good for tactics.
You know what? We told the community back in November that Jeremy Jacquet interest was there, but it's okay. Anyway,
listen, all honesty, born and red, guys. There's 1,100 of you guys. Please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Get us to 20k as soon as possible. But look at the contributors that we have. We have Chip and Gene. Chip will do the profiling. He will do the tactical analysis. Asim. Gene is here for the bongia, and Ben is the diplomatic one. The diplomatic, calm, political man. You know, like we are the best channel in the world.
No, you know what? This is bullshit though. There's 1.1k in the building. 11:30 on a Sunday evening. Come on, people. Come on. Run up those likes. Let's get up to 600.
Come on, yeah.
Let's get up to 600 and then we'll call it a night. I don't believe that Liverpool are signing Jeremy Jacquet, by the way, because we're playing a back three next season. Whether it's Alonso, Shanzo, Pulijo, Liverpool are not playing a back three. Yeah, at times in situations and maybe even games at times. Our default will be a 4-3-3/4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
Asim, before we wrap up, I'm sure we've got another 5-10 minutes. Do you believe there'll be a few more, or maybe 1 or 2 more bonjours in the summer?
Bonjours.
French.
That's a question. That's a question, isn't it?
Let me think. Bonjours.
It's French, by the way, Asim, just to confirm.
Oh, shut up.
Buongiorno.
It's not a hard question. Do you feel, is there any feelings in your opinion that we'll do?
It's a tough question. No.
No? Okay.
Avi?
I am 80% sure there'll be another bonjour in the summer.
So basically,
On top of Jacquet.
Bakholder Olise. Tyaar hoi jao.
Buadi kya hai? Tera baap hai?
Isn't Buadi
French? Wo bhi French hai. Wo bhi
Buadi.
What is French?
Is Boadi French? Yeah.
He's Algerian, but he's registered for the French national team. There's no way France were going to lose him to Algeria. No chance.
No.
I think we get What's German? Hello in German.
Guten Tag.
Guten
That's
Morgen.
good morning.
Guten Tag.
Yeah.
Guten
Is
is
that-
Guten is good. My wife knows. Is Guten Morgen hello? What's hello? Guten Morgen is hello in German.
I think we get a Gunten Morgan.
There you go, guys. The Buddy made a debut today officially. Wait, Nitu, that's it. You've had your 5 minutes of fame. That's it now.
Angie.
Hello means hello.
Hello.
Means German. Hello. All right, thank
Guten
you. All right,
Morgen.
thank you. You're live on YouTube. There you go.
Schlotterbeck's German, isn't he?
Yeah, Asim's big on him.
I think we get a what is it? Gunten Morgan.
It's good morning.
Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen.
Oh, Guten Morgen Rogers.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we call it a night, boys? We've been 1 hour 44. Wow, it was always going to be long. What did I say?
We have a full week this week, guys. No midweek game, so we've got to save some discussion and content for the week, haven't we?
Asim,
No midweek. Oh bloody hell! Go on, Chin. Avi.
early on last year, even before maybe the turn of 2025, I was big on the summer of reset for the 2025. Gina called it summer of chaos or reset, whatever one you want to call it.
Summer of madness.
Summer of madness. This summer, I'll say as the 1st of February, it is gonna be a Damag Firgia chaos summer. I am telling you now, it is gonna be a summer like we've not witnessed. If you thought last summer was crazy, I honestly believe this summer is gonna be Damag Firgia.
Mark Pirgia. What happened? What's this Ronaldo Messi bomber?
I mean,
Any feelings, Asim? Any feelings for tomorrow? Yeah, I'm saying there's a medical tomorrow for Jeremy Jacquet. Don't rule out
Kilman.
a loan move for somebody. A loan run. A loan.
It is
move.
really just what Avi's saying there about a mad summer. I totally agree. I think it'll be another mad summer. I think there'll be a couple of proper curveballs in there. People leaving who nobody maybe expects might leave. But isn't it really real comforting to think that a major piece of business doesn't now have to be done in the summer because we're going to have so much to do with it.
Ben, I was actually thinking that whilst we were doing the show, thinking, you know what? At least we know in the summer we have to go and do crazy business, and to get one over the line now, thinking about it, you know what, Jallo, you know what? One down. Do you understand? One down. Because there's a defensive area, Ben. Let's face it, 2-3 additions were needed if Konate leaves. If he stays, then it's two. At least you're halfway there with one. If Konate goes or stays, then we make a move. And then you look.
It might even help with the negotiations for Konate.
Yeah,
because we're not getting held to ransom.
And we need them. We need wingers, man. We need for summer boys. We need to go and spend some money on 2 wingers.
Asa, before you go to that last super chat, I do want to shout out to, and I saw him play on Friday on your LFC under 21, the app that you've given me your access to. Noah Adekowa. He's a specimen already at 6'3", 19 years old. He looks a player. Hopefully we can loan him out this summer. But boy, he can play. He can play. He's a very comfortable footballer, by the way. Right foot or left foot. But he impressed me a lot.
Hey, Avi, this is good to finish on. This is from Data MB, who's like a real top stacked account on what's called that's just been found. So this was tweeted on the 11th of February 2025, so nearly 12 months ago. And it says Jeremy Jacquet, 19 at the time, shining in League One, obviously the French league, but at 19, he was 91st percentile for defensive duels, 96th percentile for forward pass completions, 94th percentile for pass completed, and 94th percentile for progressive runs. And that was 12 months ago. If this guy's got this sort of potential and this sort of development in him, we might have an absolute belter on our hands.
Ben, you know who else 12 months ago tweeted about him? We'll leave it at that.
We wrap it up at that.
On the 16th of February. 16th of February.
And give him his flowers, man.
I did the profiling, but listen, it would be wrong if I didn't say fair play to Asim, who said there was genuine interest.
No. Avi, I didn't have a clue about the player. Avi mentioned him about good what, a couple of years ago? When was it, Avi?
Last year.
Don't do that much. Don't do that much, Shalia. Don't do that much, Shalia.
Yeah. I saw him like talked about people were putting a few comps, but in November I was told that Liverpool scouted him and there's genuine interest in Jeremy Jacquet. And now look, that doesn't necessarily we sort of press on. We scout players on a weekly basis. Trust me, we scout players. So many times I get told there are scouts in this game, scouts in this game. Sometimes it's a Division 2 game. Literally, honestly, German League Division 2. And you can't be asked reporting it because it's so common. It's so common. But when like a big name where a lot of people are putting it out and it makes a bit of noise, then you talk about that player. And Jeremy Jacquet, it looks like Liverpool, have scouted him this heavily this summer, and they've pressed ahead with their interest. I want to go back on my statement regarding the Bonjour one. I forgot about Elise. Liverpool have always maintained an interest in Elise, always. So whether we don't really know the details about his buyout clause, 65 million and stuff like that, I don't know. But I do know that Liverpool love that player. They love him.
Yeah.
So let's see what
for me as well. Might even help with Barcola negotiations if they've got another young 21-year-old French international who's going to be the future.
Might help with a certain Camavinga too.
May well be. It's a good day.
And you know what? I'm glad Liverpool are looking in the French market. I'm glad.
The league's toughened up, hasn't it? That league has improved. I know PSG have got the stranglehold, but teams like Marseille, teams like Lille, teams like Rennes, teams like Monaco, there's superb talents from Ekeluche to Ben Seguir, who's at Leverkusen and yet to get going, but there is an endless amount of talent there. And Senegalese players, Lamine Camara and whatnot,
You talk about the league is toughened up in terms of France, but the reason why we're buying him is because the Premier League is toughened up. And when Jose bought those players like Essien and all these type of guys, it's slightly going back to those times now where you have to win your battle before you have any sort of license to play, and that's how it should be. It's a league of big boys. If you're good enough, win the battles and play your football.
You know what's interesting as well? I was just saying there that it's Rennes' record deal ever, 78 million euro or something, ever in their history, the highest amount ever anyone signed. And you talk about all of the great players that they've had, but he's 55 million pounds, and it's a huge amount of money for a 19-year-old. But in relative terms to what players cost in the Premier League, like we would have been looking at 70 million surely for Van de Ven. And other players similar, Van Hecker or whoever, because there's a massive premium with the Premier League. So actually 55 million, it sounds like a huge amount of money, but it could be worth double that in 3 years.
100%. There's a question here about Kwanzaa, Avi.
I was going to answer that, Asim. I actually watched the game yesterday, the 3-1 win yesterday. He's actually playing really, really well. He is in a 3 though. Let's not forget about that. But he's had a fantastic season, and it's obvious that Thomas Tuchel rates him highly, that he's put him in the England squad. But it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 2 years, because I think he will come back to England. Not sure if he'll be to us.
Have we got a sell-on clause for him?
And we've got a buyback on him as well.
Buyback around about 60 million.
And a sell-on.
For next season.
Yeah.
Total eclipse. This boy, he's a talent. I think he's got 23, 24. He's had a bad injury, Hayden Hackney, but he's a very good player. Is he still at Middlesbrough? I think he might have scored today as well. But Hayden Hackney was one to watch a couple of seasons ago. A Maverick as well.
One of the players that in the morning when I was getting some names for the right back position, Bogle from Leeds.
Jaden
Bogle.
He was one of the names. He was in the there was like being branded about. So
and I mentioned the Bayern kid as well, Cassiano Chiala, yet to sign a contract at centre back for Bayern Munich. That's one to look at too.
Who's this Galatasaray?
Sorry,
there's a Galatasaray.
Roland Salahi. That one, Roland Salahi.
Salahi, yeah. What has he been roughly linked?
I thought we were linked to Bayern Munich, Sasha Boy, the right back. I rated Sasha Boy a few years ago.
He was another name.
He's actually a really good right back. And then he went to Bayern Munich for, I think, about 20 million quid. But obviously, he wasn't really going to get in there. And he's been second choice there for the last couple of years. I thought he might be the right back that Liverpool go in for. So yeah, maybe next 24 hours, Sasha Boy might be on the cards.
Wow.
We haven't heard that for a while, have we? The next 24 to 48 hours could be crucial.
What day does the window close? What day does the window close? Tuesday.
Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. So it's not 48 hours left. There's like 17 hours or something like that.
Is it 7 o'clock tomorrow?
7 o'clock tomorrow night, yeah.
So
Because it's already February, isn't it? It's because
be
it
ready
wasn't a
for the
working
transfer
day.
daily tomorrow.
You
You never know.
All day
You
tomorrow.
never know. You never know. You never know. Might be an extended midday special tomorrow.
There'll be a Babel copter out for Jacquet.
Are you all right, Avi?
Yeah, I had the little twitch. It happens.
Okay. Tika, we're approaching 2 hours on the show today. 2 hours. Wow. Let's call it a night, man.
You know, and
Let's
it's
call
good-
it a
it's-
night. Oh, actually, there was one super chat.
Yeah,
How do you pronounce that name?
Cosmic
Cosmic
Conyon.
Conyon?
Cosmic Conyon.
Conyon.
He's my friend
Yes.
from Romanian.
Chup karna yaar. Put the live here. Do
Everybody's
you
just
think?
bent.
Do you think we will look for a left-sided centre back, left back profile in the summer?
100%.
Good show, lads.
Yes.
100%.
And Ben, I just want to say, Ben, I know you've got stuff going on in the background, but it's great to have you back and the four of us back on the Sunday in our familiar surroundings. I just want to say that it's great to have you back, and hopefully we'll see you this time next week.
100%.
Good to be back, mates.
People
Good to
thought
be back.
there's a bus stop, Ben. Like we told you that
I know,
you're
I
surplus
know.
to surplus to
There
requirements.
is.
We thought you
There's a
did it
bus
doing a
stop every
great show.
show.
Ben was demanding 200k a week, lads.
Oh man, honestly, I'm
Let's
cheap
call
as
it a day.
chips, me.
It's still 900 people here. 900 people. Come on, people. The moment we go off air, please smash a like button. Ben has articulated that there's no midweek game, so we will have to think outside the box. We'll let you know what the plan is for the rest of the week, but let's just enjoy Jeremy Jacquet tonight.
Slot in.
Oh, come on, that's another hour discussion.
That's
Let's
another-
leave it there. Let's leave it for midweek. Well, I'm sure it'll come up. Okay, people, as Simon says, thank you very much for the great show. As always, legends.
That's
Smash a
Simon.
like.
That's Simon
Smash
from
a
Ecuador. That's the Simon Ordinance going on.
What a legend.
Any super chats that we've missed? I just don't want to let everyone down.
This Saif Ali Khan, he comes for me every time. Yaar, kya ho raha hai? I said Mafi if I said something wrong to you. Coming for me every time. This ain't too bad, but he said some other thing stuff. But
He's given me loads as well already tonight.
Today,
This is part and parcel, man. This is part and parcel, bro. This is you win some, you lose some.
Yaar, tomorrow feelings hai.
Ajay. Okay, people, thank you so much. Please smash a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and all that good stuff. And hype up the hype and share the link as well. Talk about BNR amongst your friends and family and just spread the word far and wide. And just like M.UF says, Avi is a wonderful addition to BNR. He's always been a good addition. And like Atik says, subscribe on the way out. Okay, people, we'll catch you tomorrow. Gene's live. You never know. We could sign another player. Do not rule that out. But in the meantime, enjoy your night. Take care.
Bakola.
Just
close the show, you know. He's
Bakola.
Sama.
He wants one. He wants to drink one. Close the show.
Should we close the show? Bakola, another hour? Tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now.